Hello and welcome to my brand new park building series in Jurassic World Evolution 3. We're starting a brand new park today which is going to become Jurassic Park Montana. With Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler as overseers selected by John Hammond, this park opened to the public after the success of Jurassic Park in 1994. This is the first Jurassic Park being built on the mainland in Montana, launching Jurassic Park's new worldwide franchise. Not far from the original dig site that we see in the first Jurassic Park, this park is planned to open to the public in May of 2005, and we've got a lot to do to get this place up and running. The idea for this park is a park based around different time periods, taking you from the Permian to the late Cretaceous. Today we are starting, of course, with the Permian, and we will be building a habitat for the Dimetrodon. That was quite a mouthful, but now that I've got that out of the way, I will be basing this Dimetrodon habitat off of this art piece by Joschua Knüppe. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if I pronounced it wrong. But I found this image on Pinterest and I really wanted to recreate this in game. This is my first time really deep diving into the modular building part of this game. I'm not really the biggest or the best modular builder. I bought Planet Zoo years ago. I bought it around the time that it came out, and I only have 6 hours in it because the modular building of it all scared me away. But I really want to get into it now that it's in Jurassic World Evolution 3 because, I don't know, I'm just a lot more in touch with this game. I've been playing literally since the first one came out, and I was 13 or 14, and now I'm 22, which is terrifying, but now that it's here, I really want to try to make the best of it. Before I built this building, I had done a little bit of experimenting with modular building. I'd never built a dome like this. I'd never had to use this kind of trick before. So this was really exciting to kind of learn how to do this. I'm really excited for all the new glass pieces that are coming in the next update. I also used a lot of I think they're called chuckum pieces. And I love these badlands, these tiny little fences. They're probably going to be one of the most used pieces when this park is complete. But I wanted to talk to you guys in this video about something that might be a little bit of an elephant in the room. If my voice sounds familiar or you're wondering why you're subscribed to a rando on YouTube, this is actually not my first time making videos. Back at the end of Jurassic World Evolution 2's lifespan, I had a series of videos, actually multiple series. One was building a DLC park for all the DLC species from Jurassic World Evolution 2, and then the other was for all the DLC species of Jurassic World Evolution 1. If you don't know me, this really isn't that important for you, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway because I think it'll be a good chance for you guys to get to know me a bit better. So, where have I been? What have I been up to? Why did I stop? Where are all those videos at now? Well, I'll start with why I was making videos in the first place. I was unemployed, and I had nothing else to do with my time. I was 19 or 20, and I was obsessed with this game because the Megalodon had just come out. And I was making about 2 videos a week, and I was spending all of my time editing and recording and posting those videos. And I didn't stop because they weren't doing well. They were actually doing better than I had expected. But I just kind of overexerted myself. I was drawing all of my own thumbnails for one series, literally drawing them on Procreate. And I was spending hours a day editing videos, and I literally just burnt myself out really quickly. It didn't help that in the middle of the series I took a vacation, and it was only a week, but after that I found it impossible to get back into making YouTube videos, so I just stopped completely. I'm not sure how long those videos stayed up for, but one night I was cleaning up my social medias. I was making all new accounts for some apps because I had lost some of my old logins, and for some reason I decided to delete all of my old videos. I don't know if I'm the only person who does this, but I will sometimes just delete a bunch of old posts from some of my pages. Not so much anymore, but especially a few years ago I was kind of notorious for doing that. Mainly because I used to post really embarrassing and cringy stuff when I was a teenager, and the internet, it did not need to stay on the internet. Anyway, I deleted those videos from both YouTube and from my computer, so unfortunately there is no way for me to get those videos back, which sucks because I put a lot of effort into them, but I really have no one to blame but myself. But yeah, since then a whole new game has come out. I am loving Jurassic World Evolution 3. I've already got literally hundreds of hours in this game, okay? It's easily my favorite in the series. I love playing through the campaign, which was a bit of a surprise. I did not love Jurassic World Evolution's 2 campaign or the Chaos Theory. They were probably my least favorite parts of the game. But this one I really felt had probably the best writing in the series, which, I mean, No shade to Frontier, the writer at Frontier, but I fear that's not saying much. But you know, this game definitely had the most story out of all 3 games, I would say. It had the most cohesive kind of through line throughout the story too. And I really liked the Den aspect of the campaign about building parks all over the world. I'm glad that they finally went back to building parks and not like, you know, trying to protect species in the wild. I guess they kind of did that with Biosyn, but I don't know, not really. It was still kind of a park, you know what I mean? Also, that reminds me, the vibe of this park is going to be much more as a nature reserve because, you know, I feel like with Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler being kind of supervisors or kind of leading figures when building this park, I think it would be kind of like a return to Jurassic Park kind of vibe with them, you know, not having direct influence, but they definitely have a big say and a big sway in how things go, how the park is run. You know, the exhibit design, I think Ellie Sattler would have had a big hand in that with the paleobotany in this build. I really wanted to kind of go for time accurate as possible with the paleobotany. It's kind of hard to do that because I'm not super well educated in paleobotany. Shocker, I know. But this park is also going to be based off of some of the promotional material that came out for Jurassic World Evolution 3, like the species field guides, as well as this image here. This was a promotional poster that they released a little bit before the game came out. But I also really want to do a kind of raptor theme build with Utahraptor, Deinonychus, and Velociraptor. I think that would be really cool, almost like a way that Alan Grant could research them in a controlled environment. I really want this park to be open, but also like have some signs of human interference and preservation, I guess. I think Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler would really try to make this park, you know, more of a nature reserve, but then at the same time, InGen would try to make it more into a regular commercial theme park kind of thing. Also, I totally forgot to mention this, but I built literally the whole entrance off camera, unfortunately. I didn't really, it wasn't in my head that this was going to be a YouTube series until I finished the entrance. And I actually started building something off camera, a Triassic section with Herrerasaurus and Coelophysis. But then I was like, wait a minute, this should totally be my first YouTube series. And I think it made a lot of sense because, you know, Montana is the first place that you go to in Jurassic World Evolution 3's campaign. And I just thought it made like perfect sense. I had just finished my longest park build ever, which was called Jurassic SeaWorld. I have a tour video for that on my channel. You can check it out. It's the only other video on the channel at the moment. But the idea for this park is that you would actually be able to drive your own car throughout the park. And you would be separated from the animals at all times. There's not gonna be like a tour track or even a part that goes through an exhibit. They're always gonna be kind of off to the side where you can get a good view of the animals, but you won't really be disturbing them too much. And there's gonna be plenty of rest stops and places that you can park your car and just kind of rest for a little bit and walk around if you need to. But I kind of wanted most of this park to be able that you could just drive right through it if you wanted to. But there are plenty of stops along the way where, you know, there might be like an aviary or, you know, like this, an indoor habitat where you can go inside and view them. But there's also the option if you don't want to take your own car through for some reason, maybe, I don't know. But there is the option of renting a park safari car, which is the Jurassic Park Ford Explorer, which is also because I wanted actual cars to be driving through here. I didn't want it to be, you know, dead. And right now I am building a bridge as well as a very, very long, I don't know, what would you call this? A moat, a wall. It's just where the cars would be driving on top of. And this is like right by the entrance. I'm building a bit of a moat just so that, you know, the Dimetrodon don't try to climb their way out of there. Sorry guys, I am so used to like filming short voiceovers. I'm not used to talking for 10-20 minutes at a time. And I'm used to filming really short voiceovers because I have a TikTok account that I post my art on because I'm also an artist. And I actually consider this game to kind of be one of my art forms or mediums, I guess. But anyway, I am most known for drawing like sharks. I have a website selling like shark products around like t-shirts and art prints and stickers and stuff like that. I'll leave that in the description, but more recently I've actually been starting a new series where I'm drawing dinosaurs in a neo-traditional tattoo style. So, you know, if you guys are also a fan of paleo art or dinosaur art, feel free to check out my TikTok. I'll probably link my website in my description, which has links to all of my social media, so you can check any of them out at your discretion. But that's another thing. The reason I'm drawing them in a neo-traditional tattoo style is because I am a tattoo apprentice. I've only had my apprenticeship for literally like a month and a half now, but it's going really well. Actually, it's been 2 months now. Wow, I started in like June. So anyway, I'm a tattoo apprentice, and that takes up most of my time. And I just want you guys to know that these videos are mainly just a hobby for me. So, you know, sometimes I might upload twice a week, sometimes I might upload once a week, sometimes I might upload once a month. It really just depends on how real life is treating me at the time. Also just how motivated I am to keep playing this game. Anyway, we're finally moving into the exhibit details now. I'm adding a lot of the paleofauna, or paleobotany, I guess. I googled, and some of the main paleofauna was horsetails, which are the calamites in the game, and an ancient kind of ancestor or relative of ginkgo trees. And the main plant that I used here was, I think they're called cycads. Yeah, these are basically supposed to be cycads, which we have in the normal paleobotany brush, but I wanted it to be more of a thick jungle kind of vibe, which I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I wanted to go for here. I think this will probably be the only Permian exhibit that I make, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the Dimetrodon the only species that we have from the Permian period? I thought that Lystrosaurus might be from it, but I googled and it's from the Triassic, so I'm pretty sure it is the only Permian species that we have. So in the next episode, we might just move on to the Triassic period, honestly. There's only a few species that I want to include from each period, because like I said, I want this to be a very open park, and I think that a few big exhibits would go a lot farther than a lot of small exhibits. Right now I'm building the first guest area of the park. This is kind of just like an entrance plaza. I imagine that the only reason people would get off here is if they had like an appointment at the spa, or if they just wanted to get out and, you know, walk around. I want this park to be also a very walkable if they really want to do it. Like, obviously it's a safari park, but, you know, even safari parks, at least the one that I'm nearby, has a very walkable design to it. Anyway, we are getting to the end of the time lapse now. We're going to introduce the Dimetrodon to their exhibit, and I will see you guys in the real-time part of this tour. Alright, hello and welcome to the real-time part of this tour here. We're starting on the outside of the park in the parking lot that I built, unfortunately, off camera. I'm just going to give you guys kind of a little bit of an overview of the shops and stuff that we have outside. First off, we have a little restaurant, the Cretaceous Catch. All of this would be open to the general public. They wouldn't have to pay to get inside of any of these. You could literally just stop by and like have a shopping spree and get lunch, and then be able to go home without even entering the park, because I feel like Jurassic Park would be that greedy, you know what I mean? If you can't afford to actually go into the park, you can still stop at the gift shops. This entrance building is actually from the campaign. I imagine that this would like take people here from nearby hotels, stuff like that. We have an emergency bunker, we have a spicy Spino restaurant, we have a goat milkshakes, and a runway fashion, and then here is the actual ticket stand for the park. So, you know, if they don't get them online, they can come up here, get their tickets, and then get back in their car and start on the safari part of the tour. Over here we have another gift shop, a Jurassic Traders. They're selling canoes out here. This is very much giving a Bass Pro Shop kind of energy. And then of course we have a Winston's over here as well. And coming over to the left, I love the way that these benches look. I think they look so good. Anyway, over here we have the actual visitor center, which looks really nice. This is the advanced version. So over here it has the restaurant on the inside of it, which looks so good. And then over here you can rent a safari car to go through the park if you don't want to use your own car. Oh my god, I just noticed that they have like little banners down here for like menus or something. That's so cute. And little plates. Oh my god. Wait, how do I get out of here? Okay. And then over here, there's a really nice looking emergency bunker. I love how this looks. I did not build this. I stole it. Like most of the things in this park will probably be stolen. And then this is, I don't know what this would be really. I guess just a security checkpoint. So yeah, the cars would come out of here, they would come past here, and then they'd get onto the main tour road. We're not going in there quite yet though. I wanted to show you back here. This is where the hatchery is, as well as a little power station, and also a bunch of transport and just things that would be useful when dealing with dinosaurs. This literally is just like right behind all of the restaurants and stuff. There's a secret little access road back here for the staff. And then this is going to be a shortcut for the staff to go further into the park really quickly. Over here is the giant parking lot that I built. I really wanted to curse there, but I didn't. It's got some parts that are shaded, and then I like to imagine that they just kind of ran out of funding and didn't want to build any more of those shaders. So these ones are just naked. Back here is kind of a museum. This is the Crichton Fossil Center, which also has an interior. I'm not sure if I can actually get in there. Can I? I don't think I can, because I'm in capture mode. But yeah, there's some fossils in there. I think these are just the base game ones. And then, yeah, there's the little display on the wall. I think that, yeah, that's definitely a Dunkel. Got the raptor skeleton back there and the Spinosaurus wall piece. But yeah, I really like this building and I wanted to include it. Over here, I have a nice little mural for the guests to sit down by. And then this is a staff building. This is a ranger station. And then coming back around here, there's a EMT kind of rescue for people. And then there's a dinosaur transport container, a little staff office kind of thing, and then a semi and the helicopter for the park. Got some other vehicles and other miscellaneous items back here. And yeah, there's a tunnel on this side which goes into a mountain, so they would just pop out the other side. But this side just kind of goes off into the woods with kind of the suggestion that the road would continue. Okay, for this part I'm going to take direct control of a Ranger Jeep to take you guys on this tour. Oh my gosh. Watch out, everyone. Okay, I don't think I can drive through that though, so let's just go through here. We have our Jurassic Park Montana gates. I love this. I stole this and then I edited it a bit, and I really like how it came out. Let's keep going in. Here we have a sign that says Permian. I probably should have added a Dimetrodon like icon sign. I did not, but I might do that before the next episode. We'll see. We'll go over here first, actually. Over here, that's where the tour will end. So once it goes around the entire park through all the time periods, it's gonna come out through there. And then over here, this is just a staff center and a Hyperloop station. I don't think it would actually be a Hyperloop. It'd probably be just like a storage shed for, I don't know. And then over here is a spa. I can't really show you this when I'm in the Jeep, so maybe I'll get a B-roll of it at the end, but it is a spa. It's pretty big, but there's a lot of parking for people to park their cars or to just, you know, hop out of a tour vehicle. But coming back here, you can see the main exhibit. I'm so proud of how this came out. This took so long to build though. And can I drive across this in this Jeep? And let's go. Anyway, this is basically the image that I based it off of, and I'm pretty proud of how it came out. I think I'm still, you know, learning how to be a good modular builder, but I think I am improving. This part probably took the longest, honestly. It was just lining up all the pieces and the fences correctly, but I think it was worth it in the end because it is pretty smooth now. But it was quite a journey to get here. And then coming over here, what are you doing? Okay, anyway, over here, this is the entrance to the facility. It says Life Before Dinosaurs. I don't know where people would park their cars, but if you're taking a park safari car, then you could just hop out here. It would probably stop for like 5 minutes or so. I don't know. But yeah, it looks really, really nice. I'm super proud of how this building came out. Let me give you a look on the inside now. All right, we're inside now. This is just the other side of the doors, and coming right in, this side is a Dimetrodon exhibit. Ignore that concrete slab. That's going to be for the workshop so that you can place it at the right height, so that will be at water level. But ignoring that, we have some, I don't know what these are, but it's like paleobotany foliage that I stole from the workshop, and I used a lot of it in this exhibit. Then there's a spiral staircase down. I might add an elevator too, but we'll see. This building was already a lot of effort to just build it, so. And then down here, oh no. Down here is just a not 360, but like a viewing area for the Dimetrodon, and they can swim in here under this walkway. And then that's just to let the river continue to the other side where we will be building an exhibit for... Actually, I won't tell you guys yet. And then this is just to let the river continue, flow through the bars, but the Dimetrodon can't get through. And then back here, this is the second entrance. Over here, this is how the staff would get in, and this is the employees only section. You have to type in a little code to get back there, and they can enter through either side of these enclosures. There's a ton of AC vents up here because I imagine that this dome would get very hot, which the Dimetrodon would probably like, but I don't think the people would be too happy about that. There's this little walkway in the middle and a bunch of little lights, and I don't know if this place would be open at night, but you know, sometimes the staff might be walking through here and that'd be pretty helpful. Alright, now I'm going to give you guys an inside view of the exhibit, at least a closer look at it. This is where the staff could come in, and they'd come down here. I've not seen any Dimetrodon enter into this place yet, which is a little disheartening, I can't lie. But anyway, you can come down here. Well, they can. They won't, though. But there's some little lights here just for decoration. And then this is the outside part of the exhibit. Here's one of our male Dimetrodons. That's why it's so colorful. I think these guys are pretty cute, honestly. But I think, like, a T-Rex is cute. So what does that say about me? And here's some of our females that are clipping inside of each other. Let's look away. Here's a female. And yeah, like I said, guys, I used a lot of paleobotany foliage in this exhibit. Some of it is from the base game, and then, you know, some of it is like made by other people from the workshop. I tried to be as time period accurate as I could be with this foliage. That means I just did a quick Google search and kind of went with what I saw on there. And then, you know, I also, like, I took people's word on the workshop, so I really hope that all of this foliage is time period accurate. If not, oh well. But yeah, I tried to not have too much grass in here because I heard somewhere that there wasn't really grass in the Triassic period. But you know, I like to imagine that they still had to work around the natural foliage. They probably had to like deforest a whole bunch of trees to even make this enclosure. Over here is where the staff would get in. They could come under this bridge, and then they have a little ramp up here, and they can bring in any cars through here, or any vehicles, I guess. And then if they just need to enter it to do something, they can come down these stairs. Heading back up here, sorry, I know this tour is a little bit all over the place, but I'm all over the place. Anyway. Over here, this is just to make sure that the Dimetrodon don't try to escape. This is probably a little bit overkill, but, you know, better safe than sorry. And over here, this is an outside viewing for the Dimetrodon exhibit. This is probably the best view, and I'm pretty proud of how this area turned out. It's pretty simple, but... And then over here is another entrance into this building. This is the downstairs entrance, though. And there's no staircase in this one, so you'd have to walk all the way around. That's a bit of an oversight, but you know. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the exhibit and the actual art reference that I used. I definitely took some creative liberties, but I stuck pretty close to the source material, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. I don't think that every exhibit will be quite this modular, but you know, for this being my first like real modular build in the game, I'm really proud of how it turned out.